Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump has indicated that he will break from tradition and so will not receive daily briefings from the intelligence community. In an interview on Fox News just last week, Mr. Trump said, and I quote, "You know, I'm like a smart person. I don't have to be told the same thing in the same words every single day for the next 8 years." End quote. There's a story in the Washington Post this week that details that one of D.C.'s most exclusive daily meetings now could lose its luster under a Trump administration. And Washington Post reporter Greg Jaffe, who penned the article of which I speak, is here to explain. And again, Greg, we heard, I suppose, the president-elect's view of what the presidential daily briefing, the PDB, is, but what has it become and what is contained in it?
You know, at its core, it's just an intelligence briefing. So it's the most important, most sensitive intelligence from the intelligence agencies presented to the president every morning. And President Obama tends to read it on an iPad, and then he'll get an oral briefing that's about 10 minutes. The actual meeting includes about 6 of his top aides. And I think the really important part happens after they get the initial sort of 10-minute rundown, in which they discuss sort of what they're doing, how they're responding to these crises around the world, what they should be doing, what they are doing, and what they're not doing.
Now, again, we heard Donald Trump say essentially that he has thus far experienced as hearing the same thing over and over again, day in and day out. Is it dangerous for a president and his team to not be receiving it every day?
No, I mean, I think somebody on the team needs to receive it every day. It's not necessarily dangerous. You know, past presidents have had their national security advisor take the briefing and then sort of summarize it for them. The last 2 presidents, George W. Bush and President Obama, took it themselves every morning and cut out about an hour for it. You know, it changes the way power works. It changes the way policy is made when the president doesn't make that hour available in the morning, but it's not necessarily dangerous, I don't think.
Now, in reading your piece, which is a fascinating one, that there was the idea of a reflection, not just of a presidential leadership style, but also to the point you just made there, what it said about power, that seats in that meeting came, well, at a great price, if nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, there are no substitutions allowed, at least under President Obama. That was the rule. So it was the same group of 6 people. It was people who he was really comfortable with. And, you know, the meeting rarely, if ever, leaked. So it was, unlike a lot of meetings in Washington, it was a sort of a way for him to think through the big problems of the day, I think.
And it also speaks, apparently, to, as we look at presidents past, just how they synthesize information. I know that at one point you mentioned that Ronald Reagan, in fact, had short films made for him.
Yeah, this was when he went overseas for summits or for foreign trips. You know, that's how he liked to digest information. And the CIA, I think, endeavors to try to get the president's information in the way that they're most comfortable with. So they would make short films with him summarizing sort of the talking points, the big issues that they were going to be tackling at the summit.
Again, it is a fascinating read, to be sure. Greg Jaffe, thank you very much for the time and insight.
Sure, no problem.